Every day, thousands of people pass through places like this, a crowded station, hundreds of voices, hundreds of stories happening at the same time. But among all this movement, there's always someone who stands quietly, watching, not rushing, not trying to be noticed, just observing the world around them. Many people see silence and assume something is wrong. They think the quiet person is shy, uncomfortable, or has nothing to say. But sometimes, silence is not emptiness. Sometimes silence is where understanding begins. Have you ever walked into a room and noticed that the quietest person wasn't uncomfortable? They were simply watching. While everyone else rushed to fill the silence with words, they remained calm, listening, observing, almost invisible. Most people mistake silence for insecurity, but sometimes, silence is a sign of something much more powerful. We live in a world that rewards those who speak first. The fastest answer, the loudest opinion, the strongest reaction. From childhood, many of us are taught that speaking more means knowing more, but reality tells a different story. Some of the most thoughtful people are not always the ones who speak the most. They are often the ones who spend more time listening, analyzing, and understanding what is happening around them. Imagine sitting inside a crowded cafe, conversations surround you. Someone laughs, another person interrupts. A couple quietly argues in the corner. Most people hear the words. A quiet mind notices something else. The hesitation before someone answers, the nervous smile, the emotion hidden behind a sentence. Psychologists often describe observation as an important part of emotional intelligence. When you stop preparing your next sentence and truly listen, your brain becomes free to notice patterns. You begin to understand not only what people say, but why they say it. And sometimes, what they choose not to say at all. Think about the last conversation you had. How much of it was spent truly listening? And how much was spent waiting for your turn to speak? Many conversations are not exchanges of understanding. They become competitions for attention. Quiet people often step outside that competition, not because they have nothing to offer, but because they value understanding more than being noticed. Imagine playing chess. An inexperienced player moves quickly. Every decision feels urgent. An experienced player does something different. They pause. They observe. They imagine several possibilities before making a single move. In many ways, the human mind works the same way. Thoughtful people often delay their response because they are exploring possibilities others may not have considered. Reflective thinking takes time. Instead of reacting automatically, reflective minds slow the process down. They question their first impression. They search for missing information. They consider whether they might be wrong. And sometimes this willingness to question themselves leads to better decisions. Silence also creates space. Space to notice details. Space to regulate emotions. Space to avoid words that cannot be taken back. We've all experienced moments when one sentence spoken in anger changed a relationship forever. Sometimes the smartest response is the one that is never spoken. But silence should not be confused with fear. Fear stays quiet because it feels powerless. Wisdom often stays quiet because it understands that not every thought deserves a voice. Knowing when to speak is important. Knowing when not to speak may be even more valuable. Silence is not always about having nothing to say. Sometimes it is about understanding that every thought does not need to be shared immediately. A quiet mind is not an empty mind. Behind the silence, there may be observation. There may be curiosity. There may be a person trying to understand the world more deeply. Maybe the quietest person in the room is not disconnected. Maybe they're simply seeing things others overlook, because the human mind reveals its deepest truths slowly, and sometimes the most powerful conversations begin in silence.